What's up, guys? I'm starting up another series today. I started my MLB The Show, Road to the Show yesterday, and today I'm going to be starting a Madden 13 Connected Careers as a coach. This is not starting from the 2012 season. I actually simmed the first season, so we're going to be starting in 2013, and we will be taking over the New York Jets. The reason I'm taking over the Jets is because in the simulation, they finished the season 2-14, and they were the last place team, first overall pick. So I'm going to be starting up as a team builder coach, and it's going to be a lot of fun to rebuild the Jets team. We don't really have any quarterbacks, but we'll talk more about that later. Our coach is Brian Carr. I don't know where I thought of that name, but I think it sounds pretty good. We're going to be running Pittsburgh's offensive playbook and Chicago's defensive playbook. As we start our career, we see that I am playing on All-Madden with 12-minute quarters and slow game speed, but you can see all of my sliders and settings in the description. So take a look if you are interested. As we see here, New York has fired Rex Ryan, and it's a new era as we have Brian Carr, the young head coach, taking over. Just a quick piece of info for you guys. The San Francisco 49ers won Super Bowl 47 over the Buffalo Bills. It was a close game as they just pulled through with a 20-17 victory. And also, we're going to be changing our schemes. New York used to be running a zone run and 3-4 defense, but we are going to be running a balanced offense with a Tampa 2 style defense, kind of like the defense they run over in Chicago. As we take a look at the stats from last season, you see Mark Sanchez was the starting quarterback. He just couldn't get it done with a sub 65 quarterback rating, 22 touchdowns and 23 interceptions. As you see, our leading rusher was Sean Green, and he actually got injured towards the end of the year, and he's not going to be re-signing with us. He has already stated that he wants to become a free agent and test the market. With Santonio Holmes missing the whole 2012 season, our leading receiver was Dustin Keller. 72 receptions, 706 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Stephen Hill also really stepped up as he racked up nearly 800 yards and 5 touchdowns. But it's going to be great to be getting back Santonio Holmes this season. We're going to be losing Braylon Edwards. He's becoming a free agent. He wanted too much money, and we just can't pay him that much for an aging veteran. On the defensive side of things, you see that our leading tackler was middle linebacker David Harris, and we're going to be definitely hanging on to him this year. But one guy we are not going to be keeping is our other middle linebacker, Bart Scott, and the reason is because he was part of our 3-4 defense, but now that we are going to be running a 4-3 Tampa 2 defense, we're not going to need 2 middle linebackers anymore. So hopefully we'll be able to trade him, and if not, we might just have to release him. Aaron Berry led the team in interceptions with 5, and the reason is because Darrelle Revis, our best cornerback, possibly the best cornerback in the league, was out for the whole season with an injury. So Berry really stepped up, but we're going to be getting Revis back this year. And as you see here, we're thinking about releasing Tebow, but first we're just going to add him to the trade block to see if we can get anything for him. And another guy that we're going to be adding to the trade block is Mark Sanchez. I mean, we have the first overall pick, and I do have a quarterback I have an eye on, and we'll look more into that later. So here we see LaRon Landry rejected our offer, and you see a bunch of guys accepted our offers, and also our left tackle Landoltz also rejected our offer. But we don't really need those guys. The main loss to our team was Sean Green, so we're going to have to definitely find another halfback, and we're also going to have to find someone to replace LaRon Landry at free safety. As you can see here, we think about releasing Sanchez, but he's just cost way too much money. If we were to release him, we would have to pay a penalty of $8 million. But one guy that we can release is Tim Tebow. We would be saving a little bit of money, and we need to save all the money we can because right now he's just sitting on our bench as dead weight. Now we're going to go ahead and take a look at scouting, and the guy we have an eye on for the first overall pick of the draft is quarterback Rob Rabinovich out of UCLA. There are storylines about this kid saying he's a once-in-a-generation quarterback, and he's a great quarterback. But the one problem is he parties a lot, and he has some problems with if he's committed to football and the quarterback position enough. But he just has so much talent that we have to take him. And with the second overall pick, or another second or third round pick, we're taking a look at Keith Lett out of USC. He has great size for a defensive end, 6'5", 274 pounds. He's big and would be a great speed rushing D end. And another guy is Marcus Lewis. and he's big. He's a big receiver like we're looking for. 6'4", 227 pounds. He has decent speed, but he's good in catching traffic. So we're definitely needing him. And as we lost both of our starting safeties, strong safety and free safety, we're going to be looking to pick at least one up. There aren't any decent free safeties in this year's draft, but I did find this strong safety I like, so if we get a chance to take him, we will be taking him. Now, we're going to sign a couple of free agents. We weren't very active this year, but a couple of guys we did get was, first of all, Aaron Curry. We signed him to a 4-year deal, and the second guy we got was Jibril Wilson to take over at free safety over LaRon Landry. He's not rated quite as good as LaRon, but I like the way he plays, and he only wants $1 million over 3 years, so it's a good deal. And as you can see here, both of the guys did accept our contracts, so they're going to be playing for us for the next few years. And now we're going to go and we're going to start the draft. We're going to get right into it. So with our first pick, we take Rob Rabinovich, and I'm just going to let you hear what Trey Wingo has to say right here.
Rob Rabinovich didn't do himself any favors with the laid-back parting tood that made him a campus hit for 4 years at UCLA and kept scouts wondering, is he going to grow up? He entered UCLA as the next big thing, and while he's a natural talent, he never did seem to make football his one priority. And when character is an issue, taking a player at any point in the draft is a risk, especially at quarterback. When it comes down to it, Robo has the opportunity and the talent to be a star, but it's up to him. Can he put it together and make sure quarterback and playing the position is what's most important?
Okay, and I definitely agree with what Trey Wingo said, that if he can just stay in the mindset of being a quarterback and a player first, he will be successful. And the second pick in the draft is by the Dolphins. They take J.J. Smoke. Here's what Trey Wingo had to say about him.
Hey, what can J.J. Smoke out of UCF not do? Answer, nothing. He's the next Deion Sanders. Speed, agility, can return punts, ball hawking wide out, and he can go deep as a wide receiver. Physical gifts, numerous, which is why he was also drafted to play baseball. His father, a New York City street legend, is adamant that Smoke's future is on the gridiron, which thrills this team and their fan base. Smoke should be a great NFL player who can be a serious game changer.
So now we're going to go ahead to our second round pick, the first pick in the round, and we're going to go for Keith Enlett out of USC. Like I said earlier, he's a great speed rusher, he has great size, great length, so he's definitely going to be an asset to this team. We go ahead to the third round and we take Marcus Lewis, just like we planned. So things are going well, and there was a running back we were thinking about, but he was not available. So Marcus Lewis, we needed a wide receiver, and fourth round pick. We don't have a fifth and sixth round pick, so fourth round and then seventh round we have picks. So anyways, our fourth round pick is just going to be strong safety Mylan Green out of FIU, and he could definitely be starting this season actually. So fourth round pick is Mylan Green, and we go ahead to the first pick of the sixth round. We do try to trade up from the Steelers. There was a running back we wanted, but we tried to trade up. We offered them a 5th round pick for next year for a 6th round pick. Now that I think about it, I probably should have offered a little bit more, but we tried to trade up. They declined the trade, and to make it even worse, they picked the halfback that we were going to take. So that really sucked. Joseph Shepard, he was projected to go in the 7th round, and he was a total beast. He could definitely have been useful, but we didn't get him. That's how it is. It's the NFL, you know. So we go ahead to the 7th round. There's not really anyone that we scouted still available. So we're just going to go for Marcus Harmon. He's a small halfback, well, short halfback, 5'9", out of Mississippi State, projected to go undrafted. But, you know, I randomly chose him, so hopefully he's good, you know. So that's going to wrap it up for this year's draft. I think we did pretty good, and we'll take a look at our team here. First pick was Rabinovich, second pick Lett, third pick Lewis, fourth pick Green, and our halfback with our 7th pick was Marcus Harmon. So, you know, as you see, the first 2 picks of our draft were rated in the 80s, so that's always good. Marcus Lewis is only a 61, so that's a little bit disappointing, but I think he can still be good. And Green was a 73, so he'll definitely be starting for us this year at strong safety. And here we see we have gotten some trade offers for Bart Scott, and we're going to take Buffalo's offer because they offered us a 4th, a 7th, and a 6th from next year's draft. So that's pretty good, and we have no use for Scott. He's aging, he's got a big contract, and, you know, like I said, we don't have a use for him. He's a good player, but we're not going to be able to play him in our 4-3 defense with David Smith already on our team. So here we see a storyline. Bills targeted Scott, and they got him. So now we're going to take a look at our depth chart. Our starting quarterback is the future of the franchise QB, Rob Rabinovich. And Marcus Harmon's actually going to be starting at halfback, which is very surprising, but Bilal Howell suffered an injury during the preseason, so he's going to be out for 4 weeks. I believe he suffered an ankle injury. And here we see David Johnson. He's our fullback from last year. He's back this year. At wide receiver, most of the guys were here last year, but we added Marcus Lewis with the 3rd round pick. He's going to be starting at the bottom of the depth chart, but he can work his way up if he does well. Dustin Keller, he was great for us last year. He hauled in about 70 receptions and 800 or 900 yards. So he's going to be right there this year. We're going to be looking to throw to him a lot for leadership on our offense as well. And here we see we have a very solid defensive line on the left side. On the we have a great center, Nick Mangold. And Vladimir DeCoste is our weakest guard, but he's actually not bad. You know, we have a pretty young line, so they're going to be improving over the next few years as well. At left end, we have Marcus Wilkerson. He's young as well. 84 overall, not pretty good, you know. And Sion Pua is going to be our defensive tackle right there. We might be looking to add another one, as our second best is Kenrick Ellis, and he might not be getting the job done, but we'll give him a chance to start out the season, you know. And at right end, we have the second round pick of this year's draft, Heath Enlett, coming in as an 83 overall. He's got phenomenal speed and quickness. He's going to be really shaking things up on our defensive line. A great addition to this team, I have to say. Now we're going to go and look at our linebackers. Making the transition from a 3-4 to a 4-3. We brought in Aaron Curry to help with that. Former Seattle player. I like him a lot. You know, he's quick and he knows what he's doing out there. So then we see at middle linebacker we've got Calvin Pace. I mean, my bad. David Harris, I should have said. And out of Michigan. He's a Michigan man, so I like that. And at right outside linebacker, we have Calvin Pace. He's getting old, so we might have to draft a replacement next season. Now, we have a very strong cornerbacks on our team. Darrell Revis and Antonio Cromartie. They're both very good, very quick, and very good at man coverage. So we're going to definitely be utilizing them to the fullest this season. At free safety, we've got one of the veterans we added to our team during free agency, and that's Jibril Wilson. And strong safety is going to be our rookie 4th round pick, Mylan Green. I think he makes big hits, he can jar the ball loose. And our kicker is going to be Dylan Litchfield, an undrafted guy. And we just signed him because we didn't have any kickers, but he's not bad. And Matt McBride, he's our new punter. So here we see our returners, Joe McKnight, my bad. And that's pretty much it for our depth chart. So that's pretty much it for the video, actually. I hope you guys watched it. If you guys watched the whole thing, we're going to be playing the Jacksonville Jaguars in New Jersey, or in New York, however you want to say it, next week. It's going to be a good game to start off the season.